What's up, everyone? I'm Spencer King. To my left is Jeff Walsh.
What's up, man?
Hey,
How
dude.
you doing?
Oh, man, I am excited to be here.
Here we go.
We're doing it.
We are.
This is The Meltdown, your weekly show where two grown men take comic books way too serious.
Way too serious.
And our obsession becomes your entertainment. Here we are.
Here we are.
Episode 1.
Episode 1. That took us way too long to get to.
You know, like I said before, you start
Way
with
too
a
long.
snowball and you end up with a snowman. You just got to get going.
You want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
I have never built a snowman in my life.
Wow.
Ever. I think I've been in the snow maybe 4 times ever in my life.
And no snowmen.
No. Well,
Man.
okay, so one of those 4 was for a week. I was in Colorado,
That's plenty of opportunity for a snowman.
especially because I think there was like a blizzard or some crap that was happening.
Could have been keeping you inside.
No, it wasn't enough to keep us inside there. We went
Oh.
out a lot.
Gotcha. So you have no excuse.
No, I don't. What's the appeal of building a snowman?
I was just going to say, accept all the effort into something that looks like
crap.
Yeah, you weren't trying.
It looks like crap.
No one can make the magazine-friendly snowman.
This is the
it's
best way to start a
ridiculous.
comic book show, by talking about snowmen.
True. Glad I brought it up.
Yeah, sweet. Good job.
Sweet. Comic books, though. We like
We
those.
love 'em. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
this is gonna be a train wreck.
and it's been like over a year.
Okay. So
Yeah,
are we gonna
go ahead.
Are we gonna hop back in the Wayback Machine?
Let's hop back in that
A
one.
year. It's been over a year.
It's been over a year.
So how long have we been talking about this before we made it to let's do this?
I want to say like a year and a half, 2
So we
years.
talked about doing
We
this
talked about it for
before even attempting it.
Right.
And the actual conversation was at Starbucks,
Right.
and then we wanted different coffee.
Right.
You say different, I say better. And we went to 7 Leaves,
Won't argue.
okay? Because 7 Leaves is the greatest. And if they're watching, I don't mind getting sponsored and having 7 Leaves on the show every single week.
Yes,
Although I don't
please.
think I want that because then I won't go to sleep that night. But who cares?
Oh,
That's
it's so
worth it.
good. It's so
Anyways,
good.
to where you and I would just sit and drink coffee once
Yep.
a week and
Yep.
talk about comic books.
Comic books.
Way too much.
Our life in
Just-
them.
Yeah, it was a lot. We talked about them a lot.
It was great.
And then you said the key phrase:
Yeah.
we're leaving money on the table
More or less,
because
leaving money on the table.
for some reason we think you're going to be entertained by this because we sure are.
Yeah, and sometimes when entertainment happens, money's on the table, and you have to take it.
and you have to pick it up.
You can't
Like,
leave it there.
I don't. What is this like a clump of money or is it a brick?
It's probably just your first wad of ones, just kind of all crumpled together. Yeah.
Where I'm going to like the comic book show and it's shoving money in the vendor's pants.
I haven't been to that con, but it sounds like a blast.
Oh, that voice.
I know. It's fine.
I can't. Don't do that.
It happens. Be ready.
No, I don't want to be.
But then so we had that thought of like,
Okay.
why not
Yep.
just put a microphone on our table with us with our coffee?
Yeah. And then we had the worst idea
Yep.
of putting a microphone on the coffee table in public where literally at that time,
Oh man.
where the camera is now, probably cars were driving by. That's about how far it was.
Yeah, the sound quality was outdoor,
poor.
just poor. Yeah, just poor.
Poor.
And you never know when you're gonna get approached by just
Uh,
the most
You know.
unique people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Asking for money or pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
Or faith.
Or telling us that we're. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
you know.
we didn't get told we
so-
were bound for hell.
No, we did.
That sure didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, it sure did.
But we decided on 4 walls.
Yeah, for
And
our
a
own
camera.
safety,
Right.
and to move it away from that,
Right.
And to, well, you guys can't see it, but it's the Meltdown studio.
Our Meltdown studio is not the kind of meltdown that we would have.
Yeah,
We had better ones about comic books because we would just lose it. We love the books,
yeah,
but this place, we're glad you're only seeing what you're seeing.
yeah.
You know,
If we flip that camera around,
if you
my
can
wife
flip it
might actually
around.
stop watching if she
yeah.
hasn't already.
Whew.
Hi, sweetie. Anyways,
So yeah, so we're
talking at Starbucks.
We're talking.
about comic books and
Yeah.
how much we love them.
Yeah.
and then we finally pulled the trigger.
Yep.
And then the computer that we were going to use to film the show was actually made in 1906, I believe.
Yeah.
It was actually wood.
Right.
And there was an actual hamster inside running it.
Right.
Who had died.
Right.
So
the centrifugal force is the only thing that was keeping it going.
Yeah. So that didn't work. So then we had to figure out what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And now we have that behemoth that we built. And here we are.
So far, so good. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
Here
Episode
we are.
1.
Bringing our
you excited?
conversation to the people.
Are you excited?
I am excited.
I'm excited.
Especially because we've been holding off on having a real comic book conversation.
Dude, how many conversations?
Oh my
Just take an estimate of how many conversations that you and I have been around each other and then went, no, we can't talk about that because that would make a funny show.
Let's save that for the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
then
you're welcome.
Week after week of
Oh
setbacks.
my gosh. Week after, just next week. Next week. But that was last week.
That was last week. And
This
now
week-
next week is this week.
It's happening. Gosh.
Yeah.
I know, I'm stoked. This is sweet.
I'm super happy. This is going to be sweet.
Right.
Because we are wildly obsessed with
Yeah.
indie comics.
Yeah.
We love indie comics. We love indie comics.
We do love the independent comic books.
Yeah.
Where did that all start for you?
So let me think. I'm a particular age.
You are.
I am.
I'm not there yet.
Nope.
Nope.
But I am just shy of the 40 region.
Yeah.
And so I've been reading comic books for 30 years?
Yeah.
30-ish years.
Okay.
And then, as most people who've been around comics know, Marvel and DC were pretty much the only two publishers around for a long time. There was like a small smattering of like indie comics that I was too young. I wasn't really into those. And then the mid-90s hit.
Yeah.
And the behemoth that is now Image Comics was founded.
Oh, nice.
And I was super excited.
Yeah.
I still remember walking into the comic book store the day Image Comics hit the shelves with Youngblood.
Okay.
That was their first comic.
Nice.
It was Rob Liefeld wrote and drew it. And at the time, I was extremely obsessed with Rob Liefeld. Anything he did, I loved it.
Was Deadpool a thing then?
I was reading X-Force prior to that because he was doing that. And I love that. And then like I became so obsessed with Rob Liefeld, I was seriously buying Hawk and Dove, which is where he first started.
Man.
Yeah, it was bad. I loved that guy.
I hear he can't draw his feet.
I wasn't going to mention that. But, you know.
I was helping you out along the way.
It appears as though he can't draw feet.
Sure. Conveniently placed behind rocks in every frame.
and or circular objects.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, I don't know if that's still the case because I haven't seen a Rob Liefeld comic book in like ages.
Sure,
so.
we're not throwing Rob under the bus
We
here.
did a little bit, that's okay.
A little bit, but
because
you know, people
what
can improve.
Youngblood did
Okay.
is it got the appetite set, if you will. Because the next book that launched was officially the very first book that I loved with all my heart. This would be Spawn issue number 1, and I don't even know where to begin with this book, seriously. This is probably... Okay, so you know this, but they don't.
Right.
I have... Oh, wait, I'm supposed to put this up here. Sweet.
Yeah, you know, so they can...
Yeah, you know.
They want to
there
look
we go.
at it.
First show, we're still getting used to things.
It's fine.
It's fine. I gotta resist.
Oh, you're doing great.
Okay, sweet.
Spawn.
So, I was thinking, so this
Okay.
is the longest running comic book that I've ever read.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm still reading it.
Does it break, though? Does it ever start
No.
over at number 1?
No.
It's been continuously going.
I think it's on issue 258 now.
All right. Wow.
Yeah. And so I wrote about this on the blog that
Where can we find that blog?
reversemeltdown.com. Yeah, there hasn't been a new post up for a little bit, but
Maybe by the time this video goes
time
live,
you see this, I'll write another thing.
it'll be a little
I'll,
updated.
do a little type and then write a thing.
Perfect.
So this book came out like mid '90s and hasn't stopped, and I haven't stopped buying it, and I literally became obsessed with Spawn.
Nice.
Oh my gosh! Listen, folks. I'm gonna get real hyper.
All right, here we go, guys.
For those of you that hate on Spawn, just maybe do better with your decision making. Because I would argue, and I think I could argue well, that for a book that has not taken the easy route of rebooting, which, let's be honest, there are 2 publishers that reboot about every 2 years, and that is one of the reasons why we love indie comics.
Yes.
Because we've both been reading comics for a long time, and they don't do that. We're tired of that.
Right.
Sick of reboots.
Right. Give me...
Now, some might say that 250 some odd episodes, it's gotten stale.
Sure. Some do.
Okay. And they do. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. So far, he's fought Satan, like Angela, which is now a Marvel property.
Okay.
Was introduced here.
Mm-hmm.
Great character. Love that character. She's messing with the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is one of my favorite books. But for 250 some odd books, this book has stayed interesting. That's the thing that gets me. Like, he did what I would call a soft reboot recently.
Okay.
Okay, now what a soft reboot, what I'm classifying as soft reboot is
that when most of the clothes stay on?
It only took us 13 minutes before the joke.
I can't. I'm not. Why stop?
Okay, so he did a flaccid reboot.
Oh gosh.
Okay, you opened this.
I did.
You did.
I deserve that. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so where he fundamentally changed the character while keeping the character the same.
Okay.
Okay, so for those of you who aren't reading, this is maybe I'll call it a minor spoiler.
Sure.
But so in issue 1 through the very first ones, so basically what happens is, if you don't have familiar Spawn, I'm gonna run through real quick. Al Simmons, like crazy super soldier type guy, dies.
Ooh.
He's upset that he's dead because he loves his wife and kid, or he loves his wife because the kid's not in the picture yet. Sorry, and then he makes a deal with Satan to come back to Earth, and he's wearing what they call the Spawn symbiote. You don't find that out till later, and he's like supercharged with hell powers. Well, he was a good guy, and so he's not real fond of being a bad guy.
Right.
He rebels.
Ooh.
Yep. And all kinds of stuff happens.
Yeah.
So he's like really strong. Now his powers do have like a limit. Like there's early on they do like a little clock with the thing where he uses a power and he loses like 10 numbers out of a thing. It was weird. They got rid of that. I'm glad. Yeah. Because I just didn't dig that.
That's fair.
But recently, to save his child's life and his wife, who was killed in a car accident, he goes into hell to get her soul.
Yeah.
And he decides while he's there to punch Satan in the face.
Yeah.
It was pretty legit.
Yeah.
Eric Larson, who was also on the original Image launch team with Savage Dragon. I know you don't know about that.
It's fine.
Another great book I was obsessed with when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's cool that you know things.
He is now drawing Spawn, and I love it.
Nice.
Because he brings like this, oh my gosh. Okay, so what Eric Larson brings to Spawn is like that classic comic book feel.
Okay.
But it's a little more like up to date. Like his style is a little looser than what it used to be.
Okay.
And I love it. But he's such a good artist that like he like breathed life into Spawn that really could have used it after 200 some odd episodes, or 200 issues. It was great. So now the big change, the flaccid reboot, is that in order to save his wife and all that other stuff, he gave up the suit and all the power.
Well, dang.
But
he's still in hell, like he's still a servant.
No, so he got out of it
because he punched Satan in the face.
Well, he actually broke out of that whole thing, issue 180. He killed himself because he was tired of being a pawn. After
he was already dead?
Yeah. So he actually managed to. He found this particular spot, like this spiritual neutral zone.
Yeah.
I think it was in New York, if I'm not mistaken. And put a gun in his head, and it was the only spot where he could find where he could actually nothing could get to him, and he killed himself.
Wow.
So then another dude took on Spawn for a while. Then they brought Al Simmons back because come on, it's Al Simmons. Come on, what are you gonna do? So now Spawn's back. He managed to sneak out a little Spawn suit out of hell.
Little
he's,
juice for later.
He's a little minorly charged, if you will.
Okay.
So he's resorting back to his old military stuff. So he's loading up with guns and fighting demons with guns and a little bit of hell power, and it's freaking great. It's freaking great.
You're going strong. This is like back in the day till now.
Yeah, this is it. I am from one to here all the way through.
Wow.
Love it.
That's cool. That's something that I can't say that I have that about it.
This is the only book that I have where I have from 1 to now. We're good.
No, that's freaking dope though. Like that's a legacy.
That
right
is.
There.
And then this book kind of broke the mold, if you will. Okay, so I'm a kid. I'm a dumb little 10-year-old, or whatever you want to call it.
Dumb kids.
So in the mid-90s, I was almost 20. So I'm a dumb little kid, right?
Yeah,
I'm like 17, the dumbest little kid ever.
Gosh, I hate you.
Yeah.
Just like...
It was bad. Okay.
I feel that.
So in my heart of hearts, I only believe Marvel and DC are like the comic book. If it's not published by them, it's garbage, right?
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, if you're good and you're telling a good story, why wouldn't Marvel or DC publish you, right? That makes sense.
You know, it's really not illogical thinking.
It's not for a dumb kid,
right? When you're starting out,
yeah, it was bad.
Gotta start
because
somewhere.
I had no idea. Like, there's so many good comics that aren't published by them.
That's true.
So, anyways, so Image happens. And then the way I rationalize Image not being Marvel or DC is that it was pretty much all like the big dogs from those companies that left to start Image. So I'm like, okay, so I'm not reading Marvel or DC, but I kind of am because they're doing their own thing. Then a few years later, I'm even more obsessed with comics, and I discover something that you don't read,
right?
But I am obsessed with webcomics.
Right.
Now, for those of you that don't know, webcomics are comics that are primarily published on the internet. So a lot of times there's not a lot of like physical copies that come out every month, but they do. It's just not comic strips. There's like full-blown stories going now, which is great. But they're primarily published on the web, and then after they get some like traction audience, they end up like doing prints and stuff, and I've bought a few of those because they're great. Right. So in my mind, those are two very separate things. Like webcomics stay on the web, Image might as well be Marvel or DC, and then one day in my comic book store, while I'm literally walking to get the newest issue of this,
okay, what happened?
I stumble across.
Oh man, what was it?
This is a deep one.
Yeah. Had no idea this book existed. Like I don't even know what this is.
He didn't
when he brought it in.
So I'm gonna assume that all of you, except for my wife, have no idea what this book is.
And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be. Let's give that one guy credit, though.
Okay. So, dude, you know how great this is.
Yeah.
PvP.
Yeah.
Player versus player.
I knew that.
Okay. Written and created by Scott Kurtz.
Okay.
Again, late 90s. So, I've been reading PvP. I missed the so let's say I came in about a year after it had been published on the internet. So, again, have been reading this for 20 some odd years. Even own some t-shirts and some merch because Scott Kurtz, I love you. You're a great guy. Premise of this book. Bunch of video game nerds work at a video game magazine called PvP. In this office, there is a troll. An actual troll.
Well, because I know, like...
Not internet troll.
Okay.
Not like we're probably going to get in the comments.
No Richard Fields.
No. None of that.
I gotcha.
None of that.
Gotcha. Shout out to Richard Fields.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up,
He
man?
is actually a big fat blue troll that has a farting problem.
Classic troll.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So for a long while, people couldn't actually see him. Only certain people that like in the office could see him and stuff like that. But basically, it was a gaming webcomic. It was a comic that he wanted to write. He originally had every intention of like getting newspapers, and then that's a long deal. That's not a thing anymore because he's probably making 10 times whatever he would have made in the newspapers since they're all crumbling around us.
Yep.
Because internet. But anyways, so this was cool because you and I, as anybody who's probably watching this that knows us knows, we love video games.
That is true as well.
So the fact that I was in a comic book store and found a webcomic about video games that I had only seen on the internet.
Right.
And then I pick it up and I look and I'm like, this is the webcomic.
Yeah. But no web this time.
No web.
Wow.
So that was it. That was it for me. Like this, I've said this on a blog, like this comic was the one that like shattered my view of comics where I'm like, I love this comic. So what else am I missing? Because I refuse to buy anything that's not printed by Marvel, DC, or Image.
Right.
Which, long story short, funny. I don't even buy Marvel or DC anymore. So, well, I take that back because Daredevil and Guardians of the Galaxy are great. But,
right.
You know,
yeah.
I'm obsessed with those. So.
You're allowed,
dude.
You're totally allowed.
So,
wow. And how much? Like that was a while back, and now you're.
That was mid '90s,
Yep.
and then just to make the whole thing full circle, if you notice, this is published by Dorkstorm.
What's next?
PvP got so big that it was then published by our good friends over at Image, and that would be issue number 1. There was that as well.
The Image.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So anyways, this is actually printed this way, so you can.
It's pretty.
You guys can't see it, but he can.
Oh yeah, look at that.
See?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Like that, and yeah. If you do not know about PvP,
check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah, look it up.
PvP webcomic. It'll show up.
Is it colored on the inside, or just the covers are colored?
No, so like they're colored. Certain strips are colored.
Okay.
So
I see.
See black and white, and then somewhere in here there was a color one.
I saw.
See, there you go.
Okay.
There's color.
There's a little bit in there.
Color at the end. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, they're full color now, and
all right.
Dude, that comic, I love that comic. Skull is my spirit animal.
Good to know.
Because
for couples trivia later down the road.
Yeah, his flatulence problem mirrors mine, really.
Skull is the troll.
Yeah, Skull is the troll, and he farts pretty much constantly.
Yeah.
One of my favorite comics, I don't remember what number it is, but there's an issue where so modern day PvP, they're not a magazine anymore because magazines are dead.
True.
It's all about internet stuff.
True.
So they become a phone game publisher.
Yeah.
So they make a game called Farty Troll.
Farty Troll.
And so they need Skull to go into the sound booth.
Gosh.
And record farts
nice.
for the noises.
Right.
Unfortunately, he blows out some mics.
Of course.
And the guys that go in to replace it have to wear hazmat suits. Literally in my top 3 favorite comics of all time.
There you go. I mean, we're getting to know you here.
That's it.
That's the best way too.
Yeah, that's really that's my
man.
Those are my 2 obsessions.
Wow.
My indie obsessions.
It kind of started down your path of, like you said, mostly just reading independent comic books.
Dude, like seriously, like I have so many old issues of Daredevil, it's retarded.
Right.
They're so stupid.
There's still some of them that bit.
Yeah, I have
hang in there.
So many like that Frank Miller drew and stuff.
Okay.
Like, oh, they're good ones.
Dang.
But yeah. That's my deal.
There you go.
For everyone out there in internet land, now you know where I came from for comic books. But I'm not the only person on the show.
Oh.
So the man to my left, Spencer King.
Who's left?
Yeah. Oh wait, you're on my right. I was looking at that, and you're on my left up there on the monitor.
Oh man,
I'm bad at left and right.
It was just backwards. All kinds
what are you gonna do?
Places.
That's embarrassing.
Oh, but
I don't care.
But I'm still here.
Yeah, my man in front of me now.
Hey,
directly in front of me.
Wow.
Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Sweet.
I loved your stories.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
dude, those books are so good.
Yeah.
You've never read Spawn, have you?
Or PvP. I mean, I didn't even know about PvP, but Spawn was, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
How are we friends?
Maybe we'll find out. I don't know.
Who knows, man? Maybe episode 1 is where it all ends.
True.
Okay. But you also have your intros into the indie comic world.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about those?
I would love to. Here we go.
This feels scripted.
It feels scripted. It kind of sounds scripted.
Like, none of that was scripted, though. Like, I was just talking about it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, and I'm going to talk now, and it's fine.
Oh, you go, because I'm thirsty.
You drink your angular mug.
Okay, so look, this is a TARDIS. Okay, if you know what a TARDIS is, you're fine. Okay, but this is square. It's square.
It's square. And
it's a great mug. I love this mug.
Uh-huh.
But for the sake of the show, I decided to have it on the show.
Yep.
And you can't drink it like a normal person because if you drink it on the flat edge, it just everywhere.
You can't make it.
So you gotta like teapot it.
It looks like the most inconvenient thing to drink out of.
It's great. It's great.
Like,
I love it.
I'm surprised your teeth aren't more chipped.
Dude, that one's way in the back.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
we're
I have a
on with
broken tooth in the back that I just don't care about.
Yeah, he's a trooper. Or just something else.
Ignorant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comic books. For me.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, like, okay, going back before comic books, I kind of like to proclaim myself as a self-discovered nerd. Like, I might have had...
Lofty.
I know.
Lofty.
Well, because, like, some people are fortunate to have, like, their parents introduce them to Star Wars, Star Trek, Stargate, whatever it might be.
That's fair.
Yeah, and, like, so it's kind of different for them. my parents didn't do that. Like I know I had friends or someone kind of.
Your parents sucked.
Yeah, I don't like talking about it.
They're probably gonna watch this, so I just made sure I said that.
Yeah, good. I'm gonna plow right through that one, but in a good way. So comic books, like again, like all the nerd things, like they kind of have to be there. Someone does have to give you an in, right? Like sometimes you could just be dinking around on the internet.
I don't know.
You know,
I don't know if I agree with that. Well, okay. So we grew up in very different. So you grew up where you can dink around the internet. I was alive when the internet was made.
Well, see, I
had AOL with that bang, bang, that the whole dial-up thing.
All of it.
Yeah.
So, same. I mean, I was younger, but like I didn't. Back when I was first discovering this stuff, it wasn't through the internet. It was through like a random friend who was like, "Let's watch Star Wars."
I'm trying to think
what's
how I
that?
discovered comics. I don't actually. I think I found a comic book like we were going on an airplane.
Okay.
In like that bookstore.
Yeah.
I think I just bought one.
Okay.
And then immediately fell in love and wanted it to be my life.
Okay.
And then I forced my parents when we got home to drive me to a comic book store.
There you go.
Yeah, but nobody introduced it to me.
And that's fine.
Yeah,
I guess what I'm saying is like I feel like when it comes to like different nerd things, like you do have to be open and receptive to it in a certain way because otherwise you can just sweep it to the side and move on with your life.
I don't mean to interrupt, but that is the most true for, I would say, prior generations.
Right.
Because if you were into this stuff when I was a kid,
right, you get beat up.
You did not tell people.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you did not.
Because you get beat up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you were reading comic books like you would. I remember one time, like I had a comic book in the locker.
Yeah.
And I was shutting a locker, and a kid saw the comic book.
Uh-huh.
And the locker was shut, and he was like, "Was that a comic book?" And I was
no.
It was like my mom found porn. I was like, "No, what are you talking about? Shut up, loser!
You don't know me."
Yeah. And then he was like, "No, I saw Daredevil." And then I was like, my brain put it. I was like, "Wait, how do you know what Daredevil is?"
Oh, I got you now, nerd.
So then he was like, "No, I read comics too."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, sweet, another dude that like, yeah." So
nice.
then we would talk about comics, but never in front of people.
Sure.
Yeah, like when we were skipping out of PE because of physical activity. Yeah. So we would talk about comic books while all the cool kids were playing like sport of some kind.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So
I'm
nowadays you can like have friends and tell everybody.
But as I'm gaining age, I'm gleaning different nerd.
You were
things.
gaining age?
I was.
Sweet.
Yeah, it wasn't
I didn't
hard.
know you could gain age?
One way or another.
Sweet.
And so I'm picking up different things that I like. You know, Star Wars is a big one. And shut me down.
Star Trek.
That's cool. So
Star Trek is cool.
I get to college. I made it to college.
You're at college now.
I'm at college.
College man.
I mean, before then, I know like there was like talk. Like I knew I liked Batman, right?
Okay.
I knew I liked Batman because of maybe movies or things. I was a huge fan of him. I mean, he's just a dude.
Have you seen the Michael Keaton Batman movie by this time in your life?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
So you're familiar with that?
Yes, and Batman Returns, like which I did enjoy.
I don't know how old you were. I should know how old you were in college because I've pretty much known you shortly after that.
Right.
Yeah. So most Batman movies were out by the time you were in college.
Yeah. This is 2008-9.
Oh, shut up.
I know.
Whatever.
Well, it was my third year transfer. You know, it's a thing.
2008 in college.
2008 in college. Here I am. I know. It's fine.
It's okay. Oh, you touched me.
I know.
Are we allowed to do that on the internet?
I don't know. We'll see if we get shut down or not.
Sweet. All right.
Maybe for other reasons. Okay. And so I'm in college. I kind of already have this foundation for Batman, and I got this friend.
Okay.
His name's Grant. A great friend of mine. Ended up being my ultimate frisbee captain.
Ooh, nice.
And I will still follow him.
You still play for
I'll toss a
whatever
D.
The heck, it's ultimate frisbee.
Ultimate frisbee.
You toss the B?
The D.
Do we call it the B?
No, the D. Come on. You toss it.
So you toss this
the disc.
The D with this dude?
You toss it's a disc.
So you and Grant are throwing around the D.
True. Very true. So you know we're close. And
more than I realized at first.
Yeah. But what was really cool is that we lived in this house. And there's like 10 of us living in this house. It's, we're in Chicago.
There's a lot of D.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of us played Frisbee. It's true.
Yeah.
And what was really cool is in this one room, Grant was putting up his his comic books like on the wall. Like you got your bag and board, you put sticky stuff on one side,
bag and board,
and you put it on the wall.
Yeah.
And he made a library of comic books for us. And
for you all to peruse at your leisure.
And so it was Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin. And but more so than that, I want to say it was Jim Lee and Frank Miller's All-Star Batman and Robin.
I don't. That's not ringing a bell.
Was it Frank Miller? No. Yeah, it was. And so it was these Batman and Robin.
Literally
books.
drawing a blank on that.
No, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not questioning you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's embarrassing,
dude. It's good. It ends.
I feel like I've read it. Like I would have read it.
Right. No. If you haven't, you should. It does end though, like when it shouldn't, because Jim Lee. I don't know. I got like too busy owning DC or something. So
just real quick sidebar. How much do we love Jim Lee?
Oh my gosh, you guys. Jim Lee is definitely our comic book hero.
Yeah. So let's just say that we love Jim Lee so much to get into the computer that is recording this.
Right.
His name is.
It's part of the password. Yeah. No, it's a good one. It's
the most appropriate part.
It's definitely the most appropriate part.
Yeah.
And so
we love Jim Lee.
Yeah. But amongst all the other things,
and his penciling.
That's our.
Did I make you nervous there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Sweet.
That are on Grant's wall. There was also this one.
Ooh.
By issue.
Dude, look at that little picture back there. Okay. Real quick.
Yeah.
Is that my boy, John Romita Jr.?
That is.
This is literally. Okay, so I don't read Kick-Ass, but this is literally the only John Romita book that I did not ever pick up.
Wow.
One of my greatest.
There it is. That's the first thing.
I wonder how the mics picked that up. This is one of the greatest regrets. I wish I had picked this up originally.
Yeah. I mean, now motion picture and
now I feel like I'm just bandwagoning it because it was super popular.
But it is good though, and
I know
it is different.
I'm just looking at the artwork on the back. Like I'm gonna show the back. Look at that. Like, okay. Well, lights. There we go.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
The movie I think did a good job at making this story, good for the screen.
Bruh.
I mean, it's cinematic enough as it is, as some of the better comic books can be.
Dude, you just keep talking. I'm gonna sit with this for a little bit.
Yeah, that's just fine. And yeah, so there was issues, and I'm picking them up, and it was, I guess you could say it was kind of that perfect bridge into non-superhero things, because it's like the anti-superhero book, right?
Well, kind of, right? I mean, I've only seen the movie.
Right.
So how close to the movie is the book?
It's very close.
Okay.
It is.
So it's like, it's anti, what I would call like superheroes power, like superpowers.
Right.
Superhero.
Right.
Like, because these kids they're like regular kids.
He straight up was just done with his boring life and was like, I'm going to wear tights and a mask.
That was my favorite part of the story, is that they didn't try to, like, he got bit by a radioactive cockroach and now he can lift, buildings over his head.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, John Romita Jr., dude.
Yeah,
seriously.
He's good.
Gosh, darn, I love his work.
Yeah, he's real good. And so yeah, and it was really cool. Well, and it was other Mark Miller things that was also there that I would read.
Who, if he wrote on a bar napkin what he was going to buy at the grocery store in a month, I would pay money to read that.
It's like everything he does. I mean, I haven't read everything, but I just feel like it's get me more of those stories, which are happening, which is great.
And what a time to be a comic book fan.
Yeah. Because
these dudes, Romita, Miller, like, all these guys are going out and doing indie comics now.
Right.
So good.
It is.
So good.
Oh, gosh, it's really cool.
Like, we're literally looking at, like,
it was closer to the beginning. It was my beginning.
Sure. What I'm saying is, like this would never be a Marvel or DC book, ever.
Right.
And I've learned over the years, like, I'm not crapping on Marvel or DC. They have, like, their own game plan, right? They're not really trying to push the boundaries of what can and cannot happen in comic books, because they have their business model. They have their, like, superheroes, with the 75, 80 years of storytelling, which God, I don't even know how you tell an interesting story of a character that's 80 years old.
No.
Like, seriously, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Scott Snyder's still managing to do it,
Whew.
which another writer that I'd love.
Yes.
that you love. We love.
Yes.
All the love.
All more.
So much love.
Yes.
Yeah, but like this is an indie book, and like I was just flipping through it, and my heart hurt because I'm like, dude, that looks so good.
You may or may not be taking this home with you tonight.
I may or may not be ordering that.
And what's really cool is that
we hit stop.
There's a Kick-Ass 2. And,
yeah, I know that's like
and a Hit Girl like interlude. I think it takes place after Kick-Ass, before Kick-Ass 2.
Kick-Ass 2 is more recent because I feel like I've seen books.
Well, Kick-Ass 3 is out now.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, I'm seeing Kick-Ass 3.
I haven't picked that one up yet, just because the pile. We all know how that pile grows. Sometimes stuff doesn't get bought when it should.
If I'm gonna take a picture.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a picture of my to read pile.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm gonna post it to the Twitter for this show.
Yeah.
Which is @Reverse Meltdown on Twitter. Because I'm not kidding you, bro. My to read pile is probably taller than this book.
Of like single issues.
Single issues stacked.
Just stacked on. That's
so
a lot.
Bad.
That's
I
a
have
lot.
Such a problem.
Yeah. Well, so Kick-Ass got me in.
So this gets you in there.
Yeah, it gets me in there.
This whets your appetite.
It does. I'm wafting.
Okay.
The independent smells.
Okay. Yeah, you're like.
Just yeah.
The bouquet is somewhat interesting.
And the wall in this room of comic books at the House of Windsor.
Yeah, the D house.
Yeah, the Windsor.
Let's call it the D house.
We could. It went by
the House of D.
A different name. But there was this book that like by
was it
issue.
The Rooster House?
It was, gosh, I can't even sometimes. What is happening? There were a couple issues, and just like definitely the art attracted it to me.
Now we're getting into a book
first.
that we both obsess over.
Lady Mechanica.
If you're not reading this,
holy crap! This Kick-Ass was fun and all, but this is the book that opened my eyes, like legitimately opened my eyes to just a different world of what I could be reading. And I'm like, again, just in the beginning, but I wanted more of this book.
Just preach. Now listen, I don't mind admitting.
Right.
I did not know about this book.
Right.
And it is maybe in the top 3 things that you have introduced in my life. And what a book.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what else to say. Like,
right. No.
Okay. So explain to them who have no idea, because Kick-Ass was a movie. So if you don't know what Kick-Ass is, go away.
It's been out in the world long enough.
But Lady Mechanica, you probably don't know what this is. So what is Lady Mechanica?
Lady Mechanica, it takes place in Victorian England, but steampunk. Like
it's a steampunk book.
It's a steampunk book.
But here's the great part. It's not a it's like, okay, you know how like you see things that are steampunk, and
right? And you're like, oh, cool mashup, bro.
Like, oh, I'm so steampunk. Like, oh, here's a Zeppelin.
Look at my pocket watch.
Yeah, look, there's gears on my glasses.
Yeah,
whatever. Like, it's so like, oh, they're trying to be so. There's none of that in this book.
Right.
Like, there's that stuff. Like, there's like robotic stuff, but Joe Benitez, author and artist.
And Peter Steigerwald.
Yep, who I think does colors or
yes,
and co-artist.
Right,
he does, like background stuff, and
Joe Benitez and Peter Steigerwald are the creative team.
Yeah.
For this book.
So I'm gonna talk specifically story, not art, because art needs its own thing. This is it. It is so. It's equally subtle.
Yep. And
will satisfy anybody who's like, I'm not really into steampunk, but you know, like whatever, like I just want an interesting story. So it's subtle enough for that person to be like, okay, I don't care about steampunk, but this is a great comic.
Yeah.
And then if you love steampunk, it's there enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he manages to balance this.
Right.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That you're like, this might be the greatest steampunk comic ever.
Nothing else steampunk will do it for me.
Nothing.
Like, this was my first introduction really to steampunk, and it ruined the rest of steampunk
Seriously,
for me.
Imagine, like, okay, whatever your favorite food is, just take your favorite food.
Pancakes.
Okay. And then from your favorite restaurant that serves pancakes.
IHOP.
Okay, so not him. Good. I was... Really?
No, I'm just, for the sake of your example.
Where is not IHOP?
Okay, so grandma's house. Just grandma's pancakes. You're getting real hung up.
Okay, so I want to use this analogy, and it's just grandma's house pancakes ain't gonna cut it. Okay, so imagine your favorite food is like steak. Okay, your favorite just like a filet mignon steak
from IHOP.
I hate you so much. If I ever see you eat a steak at IHOP, I'm going to throw it in. I'm going to just tip it in your lap.
Okay, it's fine.
Please. Because it'll probably be better after that. So anyway, and just the fanciest, nicest, the best steak you've ever eaten. Okay?
Right.
Just the best, just tender, juicy, best steak you've ever eaten.
Yeah.
Now imagine that was your very first meal.
Right.
And then your next meal is like, saltines.
Right. Carrots.
Right. Yeah, get out of here. Like you could not go from like that steak to like
just
like a cheeseburger
to
from
nothing
like,
averageness.
Or like like some whatever. It's like
that,
I don't know
that
if
really
I could ever
is...
read a steampunk. Now I will say that there's a couple of books that are steampunk-ish.
Sure.
That I read.
Yeah.
But this one is just it's like leaps and bounds better than just. This is in my top 3 books
and that goes
I'm reading.
That goes with the art,
right?
With how it goes, and like honestly, like I can't describe better than USA Today did on the back of this trade. If this stop,
just gonna read it?
No, it is that good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend I came up with it. If the story itself weren't so intriguing and well written, the books would be worth purchasing for the visuals alone. And like for real,
it's gorgeous.
It is like, to put it that succinct is.
I just realized though we still haven't mentioned. So we said steampunk, and then we stopped talking about what Lady Mechanica is.
Right. Okay. So she is this lady,
who is Mechanica.
Well, but she's Mechanica. Well, that's what the newspapers called her.
Yeah.
Right. Like most superhero names.
Yeah, she has to have a cool name, and
She
Lady
does.
Mechanica's a cool one.
Lady M. Anyway, she like basically kind of wakes up. We don't really see when she wakes up.
Right.
We kind of jump into after that sort of introduction.
So if you zero issue, you kind of get.
She's kind of already that like demon hunter.
She's like detective-ish.
Right.
So it's really a detective book. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
So it's a detective book set in steampunk Victorian England.
Yep.
And
she's got mechanical limbs.
So she's got mechanical limbs in issue 1.
She wakes up like no memory.
Right.
She's got mechanical arms and legs, and it's like she's making a name for herself, like fighting off the bad things, but also searching for what the frick
like she
happened.
wants to know what happened to her.
Yeah.
And then in zero issue, which came later,
well, no, I think that was the first one.
Zero? I thought one came out first, and then he did a zero.
Maybe the same time, but what happened here? Because we're going back to North Park.
There's a zero.
We're going back to North Park University, where I graduated back in
the
Chicago, and the D House, and because that's a thing now.
Yeah,
you're welcome, guys.
Yep.
But the story stops because Joe Benitez was being published at Aspen Comics.
Yep.
But something happened.
Right.
Some kind of falling out, and Joe wanting to start just his own company, his own business. But that meant that after issue 3 or 4, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you get this story
with Aspen.
Right. But then nothing for a couple years.
For a while.
It was seriously like I was a little crushed when I like legitimately was looking for those next books, and it took too long. I mean, it's a lesser known book for someone to tell me like, oh yeah, it got canceled.
Yeah.
You know? But then it came back.
Yeah, then he brought it back.
Joe Benitez started up his own
Benitez Productions.
Benitez Productions.
Yeah.
And we've got now 2 volumes of Lady Mechanica.
Yeah.
The third one going now. It's like set in like Day of the Dead.
La Muerte.
La Dama de la Muerte
is
what like it's kind of called, if I'm getting that right. And
so, the thing that gets me about this book.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can get back to the art in a second because the art's it's unbelievable. But the way I describe this book to people is, so you have a female lead, which is great.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Especially because she is strong.
Yes.
Feminine.
Yes.
And not sexualized. So those are my 3 favorite things when you put a female lead into a comic.
Right.
Like I'm so tired of just the arch back and the wild, they call it presenting poses.
Yes.
I'm over it. Like
the fan servicey panels.
I'm over it.
Just,
seriously, like come on. Like the internet exists if you want to. If you're looking at stuff, you don't need comics to look at stuff.
Right.
I'm tired of it.
Right. Same.
So this doesn't do that, and I think you and I have had this conversation like many times.
Right.
Like she's feminine, she's attractive, but she's not sexualized, and I'm slightly terrified of her.
She's a strong, independent woman.
She don't need no man.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it's great. Like
it is.
She's like a female Sherlock Holmes ish.
No, that's it.
But I wouldn't say Sherlock. I don't want to say Sherlock Holmes and pigeonhole her, like stereotype
right,
her,
because it's not near that detective-y.
Yeah, she's not like 30 steps ahead and like, oh, I noticed a paper on a doorway while we were driving and none of that crap.
We're not in her like mind.
No,
and it's not page after page of her thinking
no,
about stuff.
It's far more. There's tons of action, like huge character development. Like you really like the extra characters that come in, like lead her around and stuff for the story.
Yeah.
They're all like he gets depth on them. Like they're not stereotypical. Dude, it's such a good book. Like I just go pick up the volume with the first 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4,
and 5. I think it goes up 6.
Is there 6 up? Whatever it is, I don't care. Like, it's just they're so good.
They are. They really are. And
if you read it and you don't like it, maybe I don't know. See a therapist because there's something wrong. It's so good.
I mean, yeah, but let us know like how you feel about these books.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. If you read it, if we're talking about a book and you read it, throw it in the comments. We will lose our minds. We will seriously like. Yeah,
we want to see like your guys' opinions too. We're just two grown men, right?
Yeah, that are way too obsessed with this stuff.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's really borderline addiction.
Yeah. No, but read these books if you have read them. Let us know how you feel.
You can go on the blog reversemeltdown.com. I've written about Lady Mechanica a few times. Talk about that stuff there. Hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Comic Devourer.
Right. I am at the Sweetest Brag.
Yep. You can talk to us there.
Yep.
But yeah, Kick-Ass Lady Mechanica, bro. Those are good calls.
And it only started me on a journey that I have loved and have been obsessed with ever since.
Okay, help me out because you've introduced me to another book, and I can't remember the name. Okay, but it was the one with flying engines.
Oh, Diesel,
dude,
Diesel.
What's going on with that book?
I don't know. Tyson. Gosh, what's his name? Heisen.
Okay.
The creator, I think is taking a break. Or something, because one of the things that happens with indie books, right? That happens sometimes in the middle of arcs. They'll take a couple months off.
Yeah.
And like with Lady Mechanica, you get one arc, 6 issues or so. There's a break, but
for like I would say,
but that's like one succinct story.
Yeah. So like you'll get monthly. So like he does like a 6-part series. You'll get 6 months of story.
Yeah.
And then I would say at most 2 to 3 months. For him to like get the other book like rolling so he can monthly them.
Yeah.
Which I will say like that's maybe the biggest hang up for people to like break away from Marvel and DC because like if you read Daredevil or you read X-Men or you read whatever, you know that book's gonna be on the shelf every single month.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like I dig that. I've gotten to the point now where my pull list, guys, you don't even understand. He can attest to. I'm dragging like 20 to 25 a week. Seriously, I think I have 100 books a month on my list.
Yep.
So I don't really have a lot of gaps. I have gaps in stories, but I don't really notice because
oh my god,
there's so many.
I'm sure everything is just blending together for you, like just one rainbow of just stories that don't make sense.
Part of the problem I have right now is I have too many things going on. I'm not reading enough comic books, and so what's happening is I'm having to dig in to like what I've read.
Yeah.
So, like Fairyland. I hate Fairyland. We both love that, and it'll probably be a topic within the next few shows. But I had to, like, go get the prior issue and be like, okay, so wait, what happened? I can flip pages because it, like, jogs your memory.
Right.
I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm starting to do that. So my reading list is actually starting to creep into what I've already read because there's just so many.
You're, like, rereading now.
I have to reread to catch
to
back
remember.
up. Yeah.
Oh, man, that is not helping that
That's
pile
it's
get,
not, it's
get
not helping
smaller.
at all. It's enlarging.
Yikes.
My pile is engorging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
So, here's a segue.
There it is. I don't know either.
I couldn't figure out how to segue into the last topic that we want to talk about.
I don't know either. I don't even know what that tangent started on. But but comic books.
We love comic books.
Yep.
And to close us, the question that we're asking,
yes,
is what comic book world,
frick,
would you most want to live in? Now then, I'm gonna box this in a little bit.
All right.
Okay.
What are our rules here?
You can't say Marvel because
Wow.
suck it. Okay, there's like 30,000 things going on. You can live in Hell's Kitchen. You can live in space. You can get out of here with that crap. Okay, so you just can't say Marvel.
Okay.
Now we'll allow individual stories. So like
individual.
So for me,
Okay.
and this isn't my choice, but say I wanted to live because Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I wanted to live in that world. So I'm
specifically Guardians, not the Marvel universe, but Guardians.
I'm specifically like living with the Guardians of the Galaxy and going on adventures.
But
with
isn't
them.
that kind of just this world, though?
Sure, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Sure.
But I have never seen a talking raccoon that loves to murder face people.
There are other raccoon encounters that we may know of.
Where boxes,
yeah,
certain things are just, they're kind of funny.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. I that's how I might describe
Yeah.
those things. But okay, no, that's fair. But like in this world, are you just some dude? You get to decide if you get to have jetpacks and live on different planets, and meet up with alien babes and whatnot.
Let's go with yes, but you can't make yourself
Like the hero,
you can't make yourself the most powerful.
right?
So if you want to go join the X-Men,
Right.
cool. But let's go with your like C Squad X-Men.
But if
You're in the X Mansion and your
Okay.
powers like you can smell nervousness.
Oh, jeez.
Or whatever. Like you can turn people the color pink. I don't freaking know. Some
Sure.
Lame, but then like you have to live in the X Mansion because you look like a snuffleupagus or something.
Right.
You just can't.
Okay.
Live, yeah.
Okay, because like sometimes when people like get asked about living in
Yeah.
like a world, they
Yeah.
like instantly are a Jedi. And it's like just because you're in
No.
that world doesn't mean you're force sensitive.
Okay. Look.
Right? Like so like
Yeah. And also, we're not doing Star Wars.
it's
I
a
know
comic
it's
book.
a comic book.
I've got
I
it
knew
right
there.
here.
I don't care.
It's freaking dope. Like it's the
Lily loves it.
for good reason.
So last night my wife reads comic books also, which
Lucky
is
man.
it's
I mean, I
so
am too.
attractive.
Like
It's
my
so
wife is getting
attractive.
into them, and it's
Uh,
great.
So she reads Star Wars. I don't because I don't care. I tried. I really did. I tried, and it was the first few books were good. I even
Okay.
said like I dug them. It's just not my jam, which is funny because I write science fiction,
Yeah.
and but Star Wars just doesn't do it for me.
Right.
I like the movies. I enjoy them, but I'm not you. So,
Yep.
I'm not you. But it's just I feel like Star Wars is like low hanging fruit
Yeah.
because it existed before the comic book world. So no Star Wars. I'll refrain from because there's a Doctor Who comic and there's
Yeah.
a Firefly comic.
Right.
So let's stick to like
Did it-
either.
comic book first.
So let's stick with like individual
Okay.
comics. So they
Okay.
have like X-Men or whatever.
Okay.
And
Dang.
let's go with who would I pick? So like my mind immediately goes to like my favorites, right?
Right.
So Spawn,
Right.
which is basically real world, but like there's a lot of demon stuff going on in Spawn.
Right. Kind of scary.
I'm done. I'm not doing that.
Bye.
Yeah, no. So then I was like, okay, maybe Hell's Kitchen.
Right.
But I don't want to live in Marvel's Hell Kitchen because I guess Hell's Kitchen I've never been, but Hell's Kitchen here is like a 2-block thing and it's relatively nice.
Sure.
Whereas Marvel's Hell's Kitchen is the armpit of New York, like or maybe even the butthole. Like I don't. It's really bad.
Wow.
So not that.
Gosh.
You know what's weird?
What?
Is I maybe it's like a premonition, but I really think I would like to ride along in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nice.
I think I would.
Nice.
Nothing else is like. So I'm obsessed with like space and like space
Right.
travel. I've written a sci-fi book that's coming out sometime soon, and so the idea of like, because if we take everything off the table, I'm debating between like Doctor Who
Uh huh.
and just being a companion on Doctor Who.
Right.
But I put us in a box, so I can't pick that.
Right. We've set the rules and boundaries, the
Yep.
guidelines.
And I also specifically said Firefly because I would immediately be in
Duh.
that.
Right.
But-
Great world building there, man.
Oh my gosh, I love Firefly.
Yeah.
Have you've watched Firefly?
Unfortunately, because I feel like once you've watched it, you're only disappointed because there's no more.
That is.
I can't recommend Firefly to people
No, you
because
can't.
I don't want them to know the disappointment that
No,
I
you
I
can't,
now
because-
have. I was happier before I watched Firefly in one sense.
however many episodes. I don't even know how many episodes.
I think it's only
9.
10. Yeah,
something like that. Like you become like borderline addicted to this show,
right?
Obsessive over this show, and then it's done. Yeah, but those actors.
That's how I felt after Lady Mechanica #4.
Dude, those,
when it just stopped.
Those actors are cool though. Like they still.
True.
They're cool about it.
They are.
Okay, so do you have an answer? Because I don't know if
I think I do.
I don't know if I'm gonna settle on Guardians of the Galaxy.
And that's fine. Maybe we can just keep coming back every now and then.
Every week.
Hey,
I'm living with Galactus.
Which, where you at now?
Yeah, I'm
Johnny.
feeding him planets like hamburger. Like I eat hamburgers.
Feeding him planets like hamburgers. Okay.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey. Show me a hot, Johnny. Show me a hot. I don't know, Johnny.
Where did that even come from?
It's fun. It's fun for me. I felt it
fine.
more than I heard it. Yeah, for me, like right away, my first two, Pokemon and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh my gosh, dude, why did I not think of Pokemon?
Because you boxed yourself in, which is good, because you didn't have to go with that struggle that I'm struggling with now. Because like Pokemon for sure, because what 10-year-old kid doesn't want to leave home and just go on a journey for the rest of their life? That's being wild at heart.
I just
you
hit
know,
the mic, sorry. That literally may have just like.
Yeah. Well, we won't know until later.
Well, I don't even know if we should watch this.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even think of Pokemon. I specifically was in like comic book world. I'm so upset. Okay?
Yeah.
First of all, they just kicked me off out of Fire. I'm not even on Firefly. I'm so upset. I don't even know where I'm at. Okay, so I'm not with Guardians of the Galaxy anymore.
What happened?
I am now going to train to be the very best.
But that's not a comic book.
I don't care, dude. Oh my.
I mean, there's manga.
Look, and you know,
right?
I've told you in the last couple of weeks.
Okay, you've really been going hard.
I have.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love Pokemon. He loves Pokemon.
Yes.
If you don't love Pokemon, you're probably gonna want to check out here for a sec.
Yeah,
because I'm about to go crazy.
Take
on
a step out.
So I like to play Pokemon competitively.
Right.
I did. I've stopped recently.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a real big fan of this whole.
Yeah.
Groudon, Kyogre, every single team.
Yeah.
Rayquaza. Look, there's a Smeargle and a Kangaskhan. Whoa. Whatever. You could argue that prior seasons were crazy with Heatran, Thundurus, Landorus. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
Most of those.
Right. So you've got some experience. You kind of like about some things.
I don't know about you, but my experience with Pokemon is I'm like obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And then I just suddenly I stop and I put my DS aside for like a few months, and then I get triggered by somebody saying Pikachu or something.
Yep.
And the next thing I know, I'm like, it's 2:00 in the morning, and I'm battle spotting with a stupid team that I've made, like my all fighting team.
Right.
With Genesect and it's stupid. Not
Yeah.
Genesect, Heracross and whatever.
Oh, why not? I love that. I mean, Pokemon was my childhood. That was truly a self-discovery.
Dude,
I brought that.
Hold on. Why is there no Pokemon comic?
There's manga, but it's like
it's not. Get out of here with manga.
Well,
like I like manga, but come on, give me
because it's not growing up.
Murica. This is Murica. I want Murica comics.
No, it's because
they're all overweight and rude.
No, because sometimes things like that last for 20 years don't necessarily grow up with their fans.
Look, okay, let's talk about this for a second.
Let's do it.
We're doing this.
It's happening.
Okay, so earlier I said that how do you keep things fresh?
Yeah.
With an IP, an intellectual property,
right,
that runs for decades. Pokemon
is doing it,
but see, here's the thing. If I'm honest, they're not fresh.
No,
it's the same thing.
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah.
And here's the beauty of it, because the people who love it, that's what they want.
Yep.
Because I really think the majority of people that play Pokemon are children.
Yes.
And then us. And that's frowned upon, but I don't care.
Yep.
Because I literally wear my Pikachu hat, and I have so many hats. You guys are gonna see so many hats. I am hat obsessed.
He's a man of many hats.
There's so many hats. But I rock my Pikachu hat, and then my Pokemaster shirt, if you will. And I don't care. But the thing that keeps me back is I think most people play Pokemon like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Where you set it down, you come back to it. You set it down, come back to it.
Yeah. Try different things.
Right. And the nice thing about Pokemon is that when they when they release something new, it's new-ish.
Yep.
With a lot of the same.
Yep.
So it feeds that I'm coming back to it.
Yep.
But it gives you a new feeling with like coming back to it.
Oh,
and
man.
dude, that business model. Hey, let's recreate the same game for 2 decades.
Yeah.
And watch us make billions.
Pokemon is one of those like franchises that's so cherished. Us as fans will forgive them for almost anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
Did you? Diglett has hair, has Hanson brother hair, and I don't even care.
No.
And that rhymed.
Yes, it did. So my world, comic books, Pokemon.
Okay, so
though
we're changing the rules.
Okay, for you,
real quick.
Okay.
The non-comic book world we would both live in is Pokemon.
Is Pokemon, hands down. Which region would you start in?
Dude, you put me on the spot.
Well, I mean, it goes on.
I don't know.
I mean, because so many people are such hardcore Gen 1ers.
Yeah, I know.
And like, it's that whole topic of like how much fanboying is too much fanboying.
I can't get into like the Gen 1 like obsession.
Oh my gosh, especially because Gen 2 was Gen 1 at one point in time.
Well, I mean, like I've seen the comments like on with people talking about Gen 1 like it. Oh, all the Pokemon saying, "Oh, look, it's a set of keys and blah blah blah." Gen 1 was the best. Look, what was 150 Pokemon to start us off with?
Plus one.
Right. And now we're at 700.
Yep.
And that's not even counting the Alola stuff that's coming out.
Yep.
So give them a break.
Come on, right?
We're looking at like 5 times
the
amount of Pokemon that they've created.
You can't bring this down.
I mean, some things are just going to be what I would call less creative than others.
Yeah.
But, then you got my boy Delphox that literally is a wizard fox with a stick.
Yeah.
With a wand. Oh, God, I love Delphox.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my boy. You can hate on Delphox, whatever. You're wrong.
That's fine. Is that the region you would start in?
Huh?
Then
yeah.
to get that Delphox?
Yeah.
Frick, what's that region? Kalos?
Yeah.
Is it the Kalos region?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I really like Charmander's my boy.
Charmander, I know.
And like it's the roots are so strong. Like a red version, my first video game that was my own.
So you're gonna go red version. So basically, you can't own a bicycle till what, like you're 50,
and you can't run. You can't.
You have to walk everywhere.
Yeah, you'll be skating around me in your rollerblades, and I'm just like, wait up.
Yeah, you're not allowed to bike till
and it's really only that much faster.
You can get a car before you can ride a bike.
Yeah. Okay, though, but if we're going to go back into comic books, comic books. Like if it was a comic book first,
we obsessed over Pokemon. We would live in Pokemon world.
Yeah.
And I would be master of the very best.
Right.
Dude, can you imagine going to a gym and getting your first badge?
I dream about it.
Seriously,
it's.
I don't even care.
I want
like
that fulfilled.
Like here's the best part.
Oh my god.
So you know how like you have a fantasy, like you picture yourself going to a gym. I don't picture myself as like a kid going to a gym.
You go now.
I picture this. Like I walked and I'm out of breath and I'm probably sweaty, because I need someone to drive me.
You could just hop on a Pokemon.
On my Latios.
Yeah.
Fly me there.
I mean, that one might be a little harder to find before your first badge.
Yeah.
But
I don't. Anyways, so I don't picture a kid.
Yeah.
I picture nearly 40-year-old me, with a hat on, walking and talking so much smack.
Right. Oh man.
Gosh, they'd probably
smack
kick me out of the
flying
world.
left and right, up and down.
Yeah.
3 ways to Sunday.
I don't remember what movie it was, but there's a movie where so these 2 kids, like teenagers, college students maybe. They live in the real world, and then something happens, and they get sucked into like this Mayberry-like world. Okay, so it's all black and white, and when they're in this world, they're like living in black and white now. And then some stuff happens, and blah blah blah, and then they have sex, and then suddenly the people that have sex have color.
Okay.
Right.
Oh yeah, Pleasantville.
Pleasantville.
There it is.
It was a cool movie, but I feel like I would be the sex in Pokemon. where they're all like nice and like kind.
You heard it here first, folks. Jeff is the sex of Pokemon.
Okay.
If they're not tuned out by now.
They just tuned in.
Sorry.
Okay. But yeah, like I would be that. I wowould be like, where it's like, oh, little kids, 10-year-olds can travel the world. And I'm like, move out, mother effer. I'm coming through with my Kangaskhan and Aegislash.
Oh my god.
Murdering people.
Oh wow. That's really good.
Yeah. So there you go.
Wow.
Okay,
so comic book world. Here we go. And like I was really struggling because I was thinking there's this book Joyride. Joyride seems super fun.
Dude, good pull.
But I was thinking like if I was in that book, I'd be trapped on Earth in that like dome thing.
Okay, we'll allow like Joyride is about them escaping.
Right.
So if we're gonna go in that world,
right.
So if you're not reading Joyride, go read it because it's freaking one of the best sci-fi books.
We'll bring it up later for sure.
Yeah. But the basic premise, so you can kind of follow along here, is.
Well, I'm not really gonna go into Joyride. No.
Well, then why are we even talking about
because like, that's where my mind started. We got to tell me a story. Well, here's where I started.
I was getting ready to talk about Joyride.
We're going to save that. We're saving that
Joyride's
for sure.
Great.
Joyride is great.
It's good. Earth sucks. They leave. Good stuff happens.
Yeah, and it's sci-fi to the max.
Love sci-fi.
And so, but I was thinking, if I'm just going to be some layman in some world,
you're going to be
where
like
I have to carve my own path.
The apprentice in a world.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like looking at some books that I have here. I'm kind of thinking, but it was really hard to get out of the grooves in my brain away from Lady Mechanica. Because what's so cool about that world is like the alchemy is like how that kind of stuff works. And I'm a fan of science. Like I majored in chemistry. It's kind of what I do. And it's...
Are you going to have robot arms?
I see that.
Did you lose an appendage?
That's not what I'm going to put on myself.
Huh?
Because there's plenty of cool stuff that I could happen into and discover and be without like having some tragedy happen to me. Like it's just such an interesting world.
Okay, wait. Tragedy. Okay. Hold on. All
right.
So you're telling me you live in a world where you can get robot parts.
Right.
Right? Like you can get like this is not in the comic, but
okay,
like,
if I wanted it,
you could get
she
an
didn't
arm
want it to happen to her.
Flipped around like it's a gun.
Yeah.
Like crazy. So you're telling me you live in this world and you're not going to go get that stuff.
Yeah, but if I did, it'd be by my choice.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be like through some abduction.
I didn't say like, okay, you're not getting like molested by ferrets and they like amputate your foot with a robot toe or whatever.
But hers was abducted. It was bad.
We don't even know what happened.
No, we don't, but we're getting there.
By the way, that's one of the coolest things. To flip back if you are watching this part and you haven't watched the prior part, go back and watch his favorite or
my
intro.
origin of
your origins of indie comics, Lady Mechanica.
Yeah.
So she gets messed up and we to this day do not know how she got.
It's ongoing.
It's so good. It's such a he's just dangling that bait there.
Yeah.
But he gives you just enough in each series to like, okay, he hasn't forgot. Like we're making progress.
Right.
So good. Anyway, so you're gonna live in Lady Mechanica and you're not gonna get robot arms like a lame.
Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I haven't been there yet. That or Scott Pilgrim versus the World, because that. Like, it's a kind of normal world, but it's quirky, and there's, like, I can get 64 hit combos on that bully that I finally stood up to, and I just love that.
What's weird is I'm making, like, crappy faces at that.
Right.
But I'm only making that because I wouldn't want to live there.
Right.
But Scott Pilgrim is, oh, my gosh, that book. Lily and I own, the hardcovers.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, same. The color editions.
Yeah, it's so good.
They're great.
Okay, so.
But I would pick, Lady Mechanica is my final choice, though. For right now, who knows?
When I was ranting about Pokemon, you were thinking.
I was.
I wasn't.
I was
now
ready.
I'm on the spot because I went with Guardians of the Galaxy, and I feel like that's kind of like, that's kind of lame.
Yeah. But I don't know. There you go. That's a thing.
What world? Okay.
What?
Can I be me in Fairyland?
Wait, like you're you. But not like some Mushroom King.
No. Can I go into Scotty Young's Fairyland as this?
As that.
As just this.
Oh my gosh. If Scotty Young could like draw you in Fairyland.
Oh, yeah, and he can just like
however he wants.
Take it however you take it any direction you want.
Any caricature, right?
Yeah. Anyone. Because he does like characters of like himself.
Oh, nice.
They're freaking great.
Oh, yeah. Well, his like daily practice sketches.
Yeah, that sell for like $600 because it says Scotty Young on it.
Yep.
And I have more than once told Lily, hey, will you divorce me if I buy this? And so far all the answers have been yes.
Right.
But when she says no, I'm buying.
Woo!
I don't even care what he draws, dude. Like I've wanted to buy his artwork on like stuff that he drew that I'm not even into.
Right.
Like I just want his artwork. It's so good.
Yeah.
So if I could be me in that world, but I want to like have similar abilities as Gert.
Okay.
Like I want to be able to like not that I want to murder stuff,
right?
But like she gets to do whatever the crap she wants.
She's sort of invulnerable in a way.
Like she can get hurt, but she can't die.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's
that
like
would be
the
kind
rules.
Of a cool world to live in. I don't know if I would settle on that one though, because then I'm thinking like, okay, the novelty of living in diabetes land
Right. Well, I mean, but that's like your major food groups there. That's what you need.
Yeah. No, I'm good with that. But like, am I gonna get fatter there?
Only in a way to your benefit. You know.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna get fatter,
right,
but not in a bad way.
Yeah, it might be like the more fatter you are, the more magic you gain because you can store it better. That's like how that works.
Is that how it works? I don't. Maybe
I haven't read that issue yet.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
No. No.
Okay. What else do we got? Help me out. I'm so bad at like figuring out books. Because I thought Tokyo Ghost, and I was like, well,
no, F that is.
Definitely don't want to live there.
No. Just because you like the story doesn't mean the world is pleasant.
What's another book that I'm reading that's like that I really dig the world building?
I don't know. What about one of like the Aftershock books or something? Because those are all kind of based in some reality, like pretty close to here, right?
Yeah.
What's that one with the clones?
Dude, Replica. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dude, you nailed it.
Yeah.
My mind started reeling through Replica, and like, so it ran its like course.
Yeah.
And then was it Paul Jenkins, the writer, wanted to do something else. So now he's doing Alters. I think he's writing Alters.
Okay. That sounds right.
I'm not 100% sure on that one. Anyways, Alters. Have you read Alters?
No, I have not. No.
I read it. It was pretty good.
All right.
I like the fact it's transgender.
Right. Superhero. So there's like two different identities this person is hiding.
And what I liked most about it is I was afraid that they were going to like really just shove
the whole transgender
that thing
agenda,
like that, the whole that
right.
into your face,
right,
and just overdo it because it's not out there. And I kind of get that, but it was handled so well, that it actually was like solid character development, in an interesting way.
That's what I heard.
I dug it.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so Replica, that was my favorite Aftershock book that they've released so far, but Animosity is quickly.
Yep.
That's a good
one.
Oh
my gosh.
Dude, we love Aftershock so much.
We do.
But
definitely some gems
Replica. So Replica, basic premise of Replica is that there is let's call it a space station in a pocket of the universe that is used by the millions and millions and millions of other species that are traveling the universe. And it follows the main guy that I can't remember his name right now, who is the sheriff of the thing.
Yeah, he's like a police officer guy.
And then he doesn't have enough help, so he clones himself a lot, and some of them don't turn out the greatest.
Right.
Because basically it clones every iota of his personality ever.
Right.
So like he was a pothead in like college, so then there's the dude that
pothead clone
smokes so much weed, but he's kind of like a sage now. That was great. Then there's like the fat version that really was me. Like I really connected with that character because he got sweaty just walking to his desk. So yeah, dude, that one's cool because then you got all the aliens.
So much sci-fi,
dude. Yeah, all the aliens, and it was kind of fun. It wasn't like super serious, but
well, it's funny because it sets up a decent premise: a space cop, like a human space cop, surrounded by a buffoon aliens.
Dude, that just and the one guy just loves to shoot things.
Yeah, and then it just turns into this whole like clone thing. Like, it was fine without the clones.
It was, and then the clones added like so much interest. Like there was so many interesting things that they did with the clones, and then they developed like a legitimate like cop solving story.
Yeah,
like dude. Paul Jenkins can write. Like that story was great. So
there you go.
Art was freaking great too.
Is that it for this week?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna settle on Replica.
All right.
And
Lady Mechanica.
Let's go. Go read Lady Mechanica if you haven't.
For real.
Yeah. And go check out PvP Online. It's like free online. You can literally binge however long it's been around. So like, he's coming up to like 20 years or something like that. You can binge them all for free.
Nice. That's cool.
Everything's for free.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Get into webcomics. Seriously, folks. There's some really good stuff out there.
The few that I've seen.
Go to reversemeltdown.com and I do a webcomic thing. So you can see some cool ones.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, good?
That's it, dude.
Dude,
guys,
episode 1.
This is the Meltdown. If you made it through all of it,
thanks.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing this weekly, where we get together, have the conversation.
Yeah.
About.
It's probably gonna get way more nonsensy.
Definitely more nonsensy.
Yeah. And I'll probably say more things like I'm the sex in Pokemon.
Oh, I cannot wait for the next one. Guys, seriously, tweet at Comic Devour, hashtag the sex in Pokemon.
Or at Reverse Meltdown. That's good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, all right. Are we done? How do we close?
I
think
think
talk
that's
about
it.
how to close.
Yeah, that's fine. We like to think though that our meltdown is us just gushing about comic books. We have a meltdown.
Guys, you don't even understand. Like, I know this is the end, but for those of you that think like, oh, these guys are trying real hard, if you're thinking that, I don't know. This is literally how our conversations went at
this is Starbucks.
The coffee place.
At any
week
coffee
after
place,
week after week.
Yep.
And this is like cutting it short. We did this for hours, like 3-4 hours, where we would just talk about.
Oh my gosh, exhausting
everything.
Sometimes those 4 hours,
Yeah.
but definitely at least 2.
Yeah, for sure.
And
now it's gonna be a YouTube show.
Yeah.
So
we kind of wanted more attention, I guess you could say.
Yep. That's maybe, I don't know.
But this is fun. This is really
this
fun.
Was fun. I had a blast.
Yeah, we were.
I can't wait to be with you next week.
It's gonna be great. I mean, we were definitely inspired by some of the people out there.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get into that.
We didn't. We were inspired by Kind of Funny.
Kind of Funny. If
you're huge inspiration came from Kind of Funny.
Okay, so if I was to put a percentage on it for me, I would give them 75% inspiration.
Yep.
And then the other 25% was Fat Man and Batman Kevin Smith.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like those two. So if you're not familiar with Kind of Funny, it's a video game, specifically PlayStation, but podcast.
They do have their games cast, which talks about.
But the
everything.
Thing that gets me, and I enjoy their PlayStation podcast, is Game Over Greggy.
Yeah.
Where it's just 4 guys sitting around a table talking about nonsense, and they are hilarious.
Yeah.
And they absolutely inspired us to just get together and be stupid on the internet.
Yeah.
And now you get to watch that happen.
Yeah. So thank you, Greg, Nick, Tim, Kevin, Nicole Tan.
I can't believe you did it.
And Colin. Yeah.
I was like waiting. I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's really gonna do it." Look, if you're not laughing, it's because you don't watch.
Right.
Kind of funny. And honestly, I think that was probably specifically just for them and anybody who watches it. Because you don't know how funny that was.
Yeah. And all the times it gets brought up. But Kevin Smith also, like, it's so cool how
him and Mark, man.
Yeah, Mark. We cannot forget Mark Bernardin, who is like, they are the fat men on the Batman. And
did you know he's black?
Yeah,
I did. Most of his fans didn't.
I hope that
not Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith's not black,
right? But I just like the positive vibes that Kevin Smith sends out. Like it hit me,
dude. And they like inspired us. Like, we don't really want to talk trash. Like Kevin Smith, his I'm gonna butcher it, but like light a candle in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be crappy just to talk about. You don't have to be crappy about one thing to lift something else up. So that's
right. Don't tear something down to make yourself look bigger, sort of thing.
And so yeah, they definitely inspired us. And I'm sitting way back, so probably people can't hear that because I'm not used to talking on a mic yet. Hello.
Right. But it's great,
dude.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you for watching. If you watched, hit the like button down below. Maybe it's gonna be here.
It could be here.
It might be over there.
Oh,
who knows?
Where are
Peace
we?
out, everybody.